What's going on, card fighters? Today I'm going to show you a deck profile deck. This one is Bastion, but actually control deck, my type of control deck. I've been playing around with Bastion a little bit and I found just a couple ways to make it more control. So obviously we've got Bastion, everyone should know what Bastion does. Grade 2, Grade 1, and Grade 0 lineup. You can want any lineup, I just want this just for the fun of it. Make sure your wide deck are different sleeves to your main deck. And with that, let's continue with the deck. So I won 3 Bastions in my main deck, and 1 from the wide deck. Bastion skill is obviously is during your turn, plus 2k to your grade 3s. And at the end of the battle, if you drive check a grade 3, discard a card, send up one of your units, send up a grade 3 I'm pretty sure. And gains plus 10. I think it does other stuff, but I can't really be bothered reading it. I want to win 3 of this guy. I don't have 3, so 1's just here. I don't really need 4. I found out I always get him somehow, so never really needed an extra one. He's a pretty good card. He does counterblast 2, soul blast 1. Choose a card from your hand, call it, and if it's a grade 3, draw 2 cards. I haven't actually used its ability a lot. I haven't actually needed to use his ability, but once I do, I use it. 2 of this guy. You can one in at 4, but I've never actually got up to the stage that I needed to counter charge or soul charge. Usually my deck, my counterblast is fine and my soul is fine, so don't really need to use him, but I like to use him to kind of trick my opponent that I do need a soul or counterblast, and they would try their best to guard it. Especially with Bastion, when Bastion stands it up, they think that I really need a counterblast and soul blast, so they do their best to guard it. Now I'm wanting 4 of this guy. So if you do want to run 4 of him, and an extra 1 of him, just take some of these guys out, or some of the grade 2s that's coming out. This guy's good. Put this card in the soul, choose one of your units, one of your grade 3 units, and gains plus 10k until the end of the battle. So I always give it to this guy, just so they think I need a counter charge and a counter blast, for a counter blast or a soul charge or soul blast. So they always try to stop that. So I'm wanting 3 of her. She's not really, you don't need the main one because she's not on your wide deck, but the bottom one is, I think once placed on rear guard, look at the top of your deck, and you get to choose to put it on top of the bottom. If you put it on the bottom, plus 2k. So the reason why I place this is to check if it's a grade 3 or a trigger, and decide from there. The reason why is for the cards that's coming up, is 4 of her. So once she's placed on the field, well not once placed on the field, if a trigger has been activated, so you only can do this once per turn. It's an act ability, not auto ability, my apologies. So once once a trigger has been removed from a drive check, counterblast, choose one of your opponent's column and put them both on the bottom of the deck. If it's not both, then just put that card on the bottom of the deck. It's really good. Just put cards on the bottom of the deck. I really like it. It does really great against Trickstar as well, because Trickstar obviously overdress. Does the same amount with Zoga, and just does a lot of damage to a lot of decks too. Just because they can't bring it back from the drop, they have to either reshuffle their deck with a card that allows them to reshuffle, or just pretty much anything. But if you want to turn these down to like 3 or 2, you can, to upsize him or him. It's up to you at the end of the day. It's just the people I'm against in my community, 4 is enough with me. Now with this deck, 4 PGs, you want to have this one. I don't have 4, so I'm just using 1 for the trial deck. 1 in the box is just a little bit better than the trial deck one, so there's that. Now for normal order, once placed, counterblast 2, draw 2 cards, choose one of your units and gains plus 5k until the end of turn. I always forget about the last skill, so just remember that. And now for our blitz order, a blitz order is pretty much this. It's really good. I think if you have 3 or more damage, choose one of your units and gains plus 15k until the end of the battle. Now for our over trigger, can't really explain, it's just an over trigger, it's really good, it's great. Kind of have to use over triggers in overdress. 3 draw triggers, just because drawing cards is good. I don't know if I'll be using the new fonts with this deck, but so far, draws are fine. 3 crits, I mean not 3, 4 crits, 8 crits, because crits are crits and crits are great. And 4 heals, because healing is great. Hope you like the Bastion control deck. This is my type of Bastion control deck. I don't know if anyone else has built it like this, but this is how I build mine, and it works great in my community, so that's all.